Hola clase, in this video I'm going to talk about the gender and number of nouns. So, nouns can be feminine and masculine, and they can also be singular and plural. Since they can be feminine and masculine, we'll see when they're feminine, when they're masculine, if there's any signs that we can look at when we see a noun to guess if it's a feminine or a masculine noun. But they can refer to a person, a place, a thing. It can be, so a noun can be a book, or it can be a car, or Spain, or there's a lot of nouns. So they can have a gender and they can have a number. The gender is going to be either feminine or masculine. Any noun, a noun is going to be either feminine or masculine. And a noun is also going to be either singular, if it's only one, or plural, if it's more than one. Now, to be able to know if a noun is feminine or masculine, most of the time, if you don't know, you're going to have to look it up in a dictionary or in our textbook. But sometimes you can just tell by looking at their endings. So, how do we do this? Let's see. So, the masculine nouns, you can see some of them here. And actually, if you just look at the noun, this is an article. And you will talk about this in a different video, but the article is going to give it out, like it's going to tell you if something is masculine or singular. Or feminine. So if you see el or you see los or unos or un, those are articles that are masculine. So if you see those, you'll be like, okay, whatever that goes right after is masculine. But what if you don't have this? What if you just see mapa, escritorio, español? All of these words, you'll find them in chapter 1. So what if you see these words and you don't have this article? Well, usually all of the words, and this is usually, like I said, it's not always, but the words that end in O, most of the time, they're going to be masculine ones. So you would see cuaderno, and you'll be like, oh, it ends in O, it's masculine. And then a lot of them that end in L and N and R and S when it's not plural. So, yeah, you can see maybe something that ends in L, papel. If you see papel, you know that it's a masculine noun. If it ends in R, profesor. Profesor, even though it refers to a male professor, so you will know, but profesor is masculine too. So the basic rule is this one. If it ends in O, most of the time it's going to be masculine. And then C, so other nouns that end in MA, like ma, pa, PA, ta, TA, are also masculine, even though they end in A. So there will be some exceptions, but also the ones that refer to males. But yeah, you'll see some exceptions, but those are the main rules for when you see a noun and you want to kind of like guess if it's masculine or feminine. Here you have some little rules. Then feminine nouns, when do you know if you see mochila, if you see mesa, puerta, profesora, all of these, what do they have in common? When they are singular, when they're just a noun. Mochila, backpack. Mesa is table. Puerta is door. They all end in A. When a word ends in A, usually a noun, they're going to be feminine. Not always, but most of the time, they're going to be feminine. Now, also some words that end in ion, and actually I could say some of those, most of the time they end in sion, like this, C-I-O-N, acción. So they're going to be also feminine. And also some of them that end in D, verdad, universidad. If they end in D, they could be feminine. There's a big possibility that they're going to be feminine. And then the ones that refer to females, like profesora, for instance, la estudiante, the student, the female student. So most nouns referring to people have both a masculine and feminine form, like el profesor, la profesora, el estudiante, la estudiante. That's a little bit different because the ones that end in E, they don't change for feminine or masculine. Estudiante. You just change the article in front, but the noun doesn't change. So these are like general rules, but then you need to be careful because, like I said, there are a lot of exceptions to the rules, and you can have the day, el día, and you'll be like, oh, this looks feminine, día, it ends in a. Well, nope. So día is a masculine noun, and that's why you have a masculine article, the day, el día. La mano, mano is hand. And mano ends in O, so you'll be like, oh, it's probably going to be masculine. Well, there's another exception. It's not masculine, it's feminine. The hand, it's a feminine noun. And doesn't mean that when I say feminine, masculine, it doesn't mean that they are going to refer to a female or a male. It's just gender. Like nouns have gender. They can be feminine or masculine. So, and then like I said before, nouns ending in E, you need to look it up. You don't know, you can't really tell if they're masculine or feminine. You just have to look it up in a dictionary and you kind of have to memorize it. You're going to have to memorize or at least study the ones that we have in our book, the vocabulary words that we have in our chapters. You have to look at those, and if they have a feminine article in front of it, you'll know that it's feminine. If it has a masculine, you'll know that it's a masculine noun, okay? Now, so when you look up a word in a dictionary and in our textbook, you will see maybe an F or an M beside the word, the noun, or the word. So you would notice that obviously, F means feminine and M is for masculine. So let's divide the list into masculine and feminine nouns. Okay, so el pizarrón, and this is gonna tell you already. It would be better if I don't give you this so that you have to kind of look at the ending. But yeah, the ones that end in N, most of the times are gonna be masculine, and yes, that is masculine. And also, I mean, it's telling you right there. La mochila, well, you already know because you have la, and that means that it's gonna be feminine. But yeah, mochila, it ends in A, it's a feminine noun. Los papeles. Papel, it's easier when you see the word in a singular form. So papel is masculine, and also this is kind of like giving it away. But los papeles is, masculine noun. Las sillas, what do you think? You have las, that's a feminine, and it ends in A here. So las sillas, the chairs, femenino. Un cuaderno, a notebook, ends in O, so it's going to be masculine, and you can see it here. It's a masculine article. Puerta is the door. It ends in A, and it's a feminine noun. Escritorios, some desks. Escritorios ends in O, so it's masculine, and you can see it there with a masculine article. And mesas, unas mesas, some tables. You can see that mesa is feminine. So it's a feminine noun. Now, what about number? Okay, so the number means that a noun can be singular or plural. Once you have a noun that is singular, like table, mesa, or estudiante, there are three basic rules. One of them, the first one, is that if the noun ends in a vowel, A, E, I, O, or U, you're going to just add an S to make it plural. That's it. So if you have mesa, table, how do we say tables? Well, you just add an S and you have tables. Same thing with estudiante, student. How do we say students? Students. Estudiantes. Estudiantes. Good. If the noun ends in a consonant, any other letter, like an L or an R or an N or an S or anything like that, so you're going to just add ES. Papel, paper, will be papeles. Papeles. Universidad, universidad. It ends in a consonant and a D, so then you just add ES. Universidades. Universidades. Remember that the V sounds like a B in Spanish. If the nouns ends in a Z, you're going to change that to a C and add ES since you have a consonant, like this rule. So lápiz, pencil, is going to be lápices, but see that the Z changes to a C. Lápices, lápices. Actriz, actress, it will also change to, it changes to actrices or actrices, like that. And now this is just about the accent mark. If a word has an accent mark and on the last syllable, like this one, pizarrón, the blackboard, when you add the ES, since it ends in a consonant, right? Ends in a consonant. So these are the two main rules. If it ends in a vowel or if it ends in a consonant. This is a very strange kind of rule. If it ends in a Z, that doesn't happen too often, but these are the main two rules. So yeah, if it ends in a consonant like this one, you're gonna add ES, ES. But what it says here is the accent goes away, just so you know. And then let's change the number and make these words, let's make them plural if they're singular or singular if they're plural. So lápiz, pencil, if it ends in a Z, what do we do? Remember, we're going to change the Z to a C and add ES. So lápices. Reloj, it ends in a consonant, it's not a vowel, it's not A, E, I, O, or U. So you're going to just add ES. Estudiante. And you can pause this video and do it yourself, but estudiante, it ends in a in a vowel now, so you just add an S. Wait, it's not there. Oops. Well, it should be estudiantes. Celulares. Celulares is a cell phone. If it's plural, how do you make it singular? Well, you just drop the ES. Celular. Mesas, a table. You're going to drop the S to make mesa, table. Bolígrafo is going to be bolígrafo. What do you do if you have a vowel? You just add a consonant, an S, consonant S. If it's sillas, chairs, you would drop the S, silla. And pizarrón, remember the accent mark? Pizarrón or pizarrón. Pizarrones, the accent mark disappears. You just put an ES right there. And that's it. Thank you.